What's up, YouTube? This is Sean, the owner of this YouTube account. So I got a project car. It's a 1999 Honda Prelude base model. I picked it up from Pennsylvania, I'd say almost a year ago, but it's been a long, slow process on getting this car up and running. I ended up going with a J32 swap on the Prelude. It's not necessarily in the car. Car's definitely not ready for the engine yet, so I gotta clean out the engine bay. This is just a basic YouTube video, showing my car and all my parts and stuff that I got for it. So, you guys can stay tuned for, more YouTube videos in the future. This is my first YouTube video I have on here, showing my face, all that jazz. So it's a little bit of nerve-wracking. But anyways, so I have my J32 here. I'll show you here in a second. The intake manifold I got off I don't even remember what year. I picked it up from the junkyard for like $100 because it came with the throttle body. Now the throttle body on it is freaking junk, so they gave me a free throttle body that I picked off a car just to go with it. It's obviously going to be cleaned up. The engine itself is pretty cleaned up. It's all been resealed. I didn't do anything internal with it because, the cylinder walls had no scarring, nothing like that. I didn't check none of the rod bearings or nothing like that. So I should probably stop touching my face. It's kind of gross on camera. But anyways, so this is the engine right here. And sorry, you can probably see some of the mess behind me. This shed is not really the optimal space for having car parts, because as you can see, there's car parts all the way the fuck up there and everything. So like this, I'm just trying to make do here. But this is the engine. It's a J32 A3. I got it out of an 04 Acura TL base model. Somebody did the Type S conversion on it, and this is the throttle body that came on it. It's obviously it's toast. The freaking I'm guessing this is the map sensor right here. I'm not too sure, but it's busted. Like I can pull that out and yeah, it's gone. So I have another throttle body laying around somewhere in this freaking mess of parts. Like it's horrible. But as I start putting parts into the car, this cleanup space and stuff like that, and I got plenty of parts upstairs. So I'll show you guys that too in a sec. But first, before I show you the new parts, I'm gonna show you the car. So this is my daily driver. It's a 96 Honda Accord. So there's a little bit of rust here, typical in the wheel arch, but it's kind of ate through a little bit. There's not really any rocker panel rust. There's a little bit of bubbling in some spots, but it's not ate all the way through. So take a wire wheel to that, put some rust reformer on there, it'll be good. I put the Acura TL rims on it. I think it looks pretty neat with those rims. But this is the rear of the car. As you can see, there's rust down in where the rear bumper reinforcement goes. There's a lot of rust in there. This is where I started noticing, this car has a lot more rust than what he said. Rust hole here, really weak metal. Right here, it's ate pretty bad. Like I said, I got whole new skin for that. I got it out the junkyard for pennies on the dollar. But this is where the real fun begins. So as you can tell, this is the gas tank. Right here, I pulled this sucker out, I'd say last week, and this thing is in pretty bad shape. Which I have a new fuel cell I'm going to be putting into this thing, so there's definitely going to be a video on that. The fuel lines themselves pretty ate up, so that's what made me go, screw it, I'll just go with the fuel cell. It completely rusted through, so even if I fixed the engine, dropped it in, I would have been leaking gas in it. Now we get up under the car. Oh Jesus! Get up under the car. Some surface rust here, and control arm is pretty damn rusty, which I just ordered those today, so those are going to be coming in pretty soon. Apparently, inside the car, there is new brakes and rotors for this. I have new calipers, which I'll show here in a minute, which I've had them for about a month now, and I just haven't put them in because brake lines were pretty rusted through too. Like, there's a lot of rust on this bad boy. But, you know, that little, I don't know, tow hook, tow loop, pretty rusty there. The rear cross members are rusted to shit. It's all bad, bud. It's all bad. There's so much rust under here. This is the engine bay. As you can tell, I did a lot of work getting everything out. You know, there's the wiring harness there. That's probably gonna have to come out. I really don't know how to take the dash out. I'm gonna do some research on that. It'll probably be another video. This is the part here. This is the lower control arm for the front. As you can tell, both front suspension components or bushings are pressed in, but however, so with the base model, the rear bushing is actually bigger than the base model. Now, as you can tell, this is obviously the base model. It doesn't have the double ball joint or nothing like that, but you're like, oh, well, how the hell did you get that in there? Well, for the base model Prelude, you actually have to source a bushing from the 1996 Prelude, and it's literally the same size, and it presses in real nicely. But that completes the front suspension. The upper control arm bushings also fit, but that's literally it. This bushing and the upper control arm bushings are the only ones that fit for the front suspension. And obviously you have to source this from a 96 Prelude, and then that works. But we're gonna go upstairs and I'll show you some parts that I got for the Prelude. All right, so to start it off, we're gonna go with our first part. It's an eBay special. It's a 20-gallon fuel cell. Now you may be wondering, why the fuck did I go so big? Well, because I want to be able to drive the Prelude, and the OEM gas tank is 15.5 gallons. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go 20 gallons. Bigger tank, more gas. Get to spend $100 in gas every time I fill this bitch up. This is the new Crossmember. It's not really new. I'll actually post the pictures of these Crossmembers, like right meow. This is what they look like now. I took them to a local sandblast company, and they even painted it for me. It was only $275 for the sandblast and the paint, so I can't really complain. They look really freaking nice. They're gloss black. Got all the brackets and fancy stuff. Another video. In this box here, we got our 2003 Acura CLS type, or yeah, CL Type S CV axles, and we have CL Type S intermediate shaft or half shaft or jack shaft. Got some OEM tail lights. They're brand new, or actually I don't know if they are brand new, but they're definitely like new. We got in this box, I think these are my fog lights. Yep, eBay special fog lights. Lots of wiring. Then we got some clear turn signals. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So clutch and diaphragm pressure plate. Then we got our side markers. I know it says it's for the 97 or 94 97 Accord and the 96 Prelude rears, but I'm pretty sure that they fit for the front. They're the same design, just flipped. Right here we got our black housings, tail lights or headlights, Jesus. And then that is everything for all the parts. That's gonna sum it up for today's video. You know, comment, subscribe, leave a like. There's gonna be plenty more videos where that came from. My future videos are gonna be less awkward. You know, this is my first one, so, you know, the first one's always gonna be awkward, but stay tuned.